this is Raina. Thank you for joining me on my crochet channel. So for this Halloween, I am making some cat hats. And I designed this pattern myself. I got inspiration from other crochet projects I made before. And I thought this would be something fun. So to make handmade hats to wear this Halloween. And my hat is in adult size. It measures 9 inches wide, so it's 18 inches in diameter. So if you need to make a kid's hat, you just need to reduce the number of stitches. So let's go ahead and make the cat hat. And I'm using Karen Simply Soft yarn. Black and white, and this one is called gold, and it is a medium size yarn, number 4, and hook size 5 millimeters is recommended, and that's exactly what I'm using. It's H 5 millimeters, and you'll also need the tapestry needle for all the stitching. So let's get started with the hat. And the first thing, I'm going to leave a very long tail. I measured about 50 inches so that I can use this later to stitch the top of the hat. And then I will start with a slip knot. And now chain 70. So we need 70 here. And then making sure my chain is not twisting in any way, I will slip stitch into that first chain. So I have the ring now. And now chain 3. And this counts as our first double crochet, and then just double crochet in each chain. So just keep doing this, and you'll have 70 double crochets here. And when done with my last double crochet, I will slip stitch into that third beginning chain to finish first round. And so now I need a total of 10 rounds like that. So I'm going to make 9 more. Every time start with 3 chains and then just double crochet in each stitch around, and at the end you will slip stitch into that third beginning chain so you can start the next round. So make 9 more rounds like that. So I finished my 10 rounds of double crochets, and the second part of the hat, we're going to create this textured look by making half double crochets in back loops and front loops only. So on each round we alternate. So the first round, chain 2, and on first round we're going to do back loops only and half double crochets. So insert your hook through this back loop, not through the both, but the back loop only, and make your half double crochets like that all around. And I'll finish this round with a slip stitch into the beginning second chain, and start the second round with 2 chains. And now half double crochet in front loops only. So insert hook through here. So not through both of these, but only through the first one. So front loops, half double crochets all around. And again, finish the round with a slip stitch into the second beginning chain. And now repeat the first round. 2 chains and half double crochets in back loops only. So, and your next 4th round is going to be then front loops only. And this way, make a total of 8 rounds. So this is our 3rd now. And finished 8 rows of these, and slip stitch into the second beginning chain. I can now cut off the yarn and fasten off. And I'm using now this long beginning tail and the tapestry needle to stitch the top of the hats. And so how I do this is I'm going to insert my needle through that first, this is the beginning chain, the first loop, and then also through the loop on the opposite side. And then I go to the next loop, and I also always insert my hook from inside out. And then come to the opposite side again, this way, inside out. And then the opposite side again. And I think this way the edge will look, and the stitch will look quite seamless and nice. So keep doing this all the way to the other side. Finished my stitches, and as you see I have quite a bit of that tail left, so 50 inches was more than enough. You can probably do a shorter tail, 45 inches or so. And now I'm just going to weave in this end. Just do a few of these stitches back towards the center. Okay, ready to cut off the yarn. And next, let's do the nose and whiskers. So for this, I grabbed my contrast color yarn. For the yellow cats, I'm using black. And now I cut this long string. It's actually 100 inches, and I'm going to fold it in two. So I'm using 2 strands together. So from this end to the needle, it's 50 inches. And I start with the nose. Going to grab my hat and trying to aim a center here. Looks like this here. And also a space right below that first half double crochet row. So you see where my needle comes out, so it's here. And bring the yarn through, leave a little tail here. Now pull the yarn, pull the edge a little bit tighter, and now go back inside the hat and insert your needle through that same space again. And also pull it a little bit tighter because we want this to shape the lower part of the hat this way. Again, now do the same. Bring the yarn down, go inside the hat and insert needle from inside out to the same space. So I'm gonna do it 3 more times. And here, this is my cat's nose. You can make it wider if you'd like, and do a couple more of these circles here. And next I'm going to do 3 whiskers on each side, and I will make my stitches always following this. This is the type of ridge we created with our front and back loop stitches. So I always stitch above these loops, like the ridge here. First thing, I'm going to insert my hook back inside and come up in front on top of that first loop here. So it's a little bit to the side of the nose. Come up here and start my stitches here. So this is these are the back stitches I'm gonna do. So next, insert your hook through that next stitch and bring it back up somewhere in the middle space here. Again, go. Now I'm gonna skip this one, go all the way to this one and bring the needle back up somewhere in the middle here. Again, skip next, go to this one, bring needle back up here. Cool, the first whisker is made long enough. Now I'm going to go and start the next one. First, just insert needle back inside the hat and reach all the way to that these next row of loops. And I'm going to reach a little bit further, so this whisker's gonna get a little bit longer. And now I'm going to go backwards and doing the same. Same back stitches. So finishing my second whisper and now doing the third one. Here's my third row of these loops. So I want to stitch again alongside that. So find a good place here to bring your thread up from behind, and then just start doing those back stitches again. Okay, so finish this one, and now when I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the second one as well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the third one. And of course you can adjust the length to more or less of these stitches, and just repeat the same on the other side. And for the eyes, I used the same back stitch. I already made this one, so let's do the second one. I'm inserting my hook through, so here's my nose. I have 2 loops on this side, 2 loops on this side. Insert hook through, needle right above here. And now again do these same back stitches. I did 3 long ones. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I did 2 vertical stitches, the length of 1 row, 1 double crochet stitch. So 1 stitch here, I could create a little triangle here in the corner. And now bringing needle back up on this side to make the upper line for the eyes. And just looks like I did 3 stitches, just always aiming downwards. So bringing the last stitch needle back up in that same space, corner of the eye, and doing 1 more back stitch. So these are my cat eyes. And last thing, let's do the ears. And for the ears, again, I'm using 2 strands together. I did the same for the eyes, forgot to mention. And I always cut, so this one is measuring total of 60 inches, 2 strands together, so end to needle 30 inches seems to be a good length. And so I'm gonna reach inside my head and find a corner space below the first row and then about the same length from the side. So bring my needle, the thread up here. And now first stitch, I'm going to make 7 stitches here. First one, bring your needle down, thread down, insert 1, 2, 3, 4 rows down, and then bring it up the same space up here. The next one, make it a little bit above the first one. So we're going to start creating that triangle for the ear. Sometimes it takes a practice to get this line straight. Next one, I'm going to do next to it. And then the fourth one somewhere here, always going back up that same space. And then the fifth one to here. Sixth one, going to do a little bit longer again. And then one more, going to be again longer, so that's along that first row here. And go back up here. So that's my first ear, and do the same on the other side. And I finished my second ear, and just wanted to show you when I go back in here. Here's my working yarn still on a needle. Here's my beginning tail. I'm just gonna tie a knot. Make sure not tighten it. And second knot. Try to do the second knot here. And then I can just cut, leave those little tails. I don't have to worry about weaving in. So you can do the same around the nose here where I did, and the eyes I weaved in. And here are my 2 Halloween cat hats. So I hope you'll have as much fun making them as I did. And I will have the written pattern on my website to help you along. Please let me know if you have any questions. So stay tuned for my next crochet projects. Have a happy, fun Halloween, and happy crocheting.